Welcome back, Embers, or if you're new here, welcome to the Campfire Crew. My name is Jill, my pronouns are they, them, and today we are doing my February update for No Pan Left Behind. Hopefully, we will not be behind on this project for very much longer. Okay, so if you've never seen a No Pan Left Behind, basically I'm trying to use every pan of eyeshadow in my collection at least once by the end of the year. So last month, what we did was we used a couple of shades throughout my collection, and we did No Pan Left Behind one palette. It was the Indigo Ink palette, and that's out of the 7 palettes I have. We finished No Pan Left Behind on this one palette, so let's go over what I have done in February. Not too bad. Okay, so like I said, I finished No Pan Left Behind on one eyeshadow palette. I have 8 eyeshadow palettes in total in my collection, and there are 5 eyeshadow palettes that I did not use in February. So it's just this stack here. My Wishing You palette I didn't use, my Divina singles I didn't use, my Complex Culture quads, my Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette, and my Death Leopard palette are all still in this project because I didn't touch any shades in that. Now let's actually get to the shades I did in fact use. So that leaves 2 palettes left. We're going to talk about my I Heart Revolution Big Cheese palette first. So in February, I used 2 of these 4 shades, and that is the shade Mozzarella, which is this shade here, and the shade Swiss Cheese. I believe, yes, I used both of these shadows as blushes in February. They made a really pretty blush. I put Mozzarella kind of all over my cheeks, and then Swiss Cheese right at the back to make it a little more vibrant right in the back. They were so pretty as blushes. I only have 5 blushes in my collection, so sometimes I do use these shades as blushes. I try and only use it if I don't have a shade that would work better for a look. So I try and mostly use my blushes as blushes, but if I don't have a shade that works, because there's only 5 shades in my collection, I will dip into my eyeshadow, and that's what I did with those 2. I use them the same day. But that's technically half the palette, because this is technically a quad now, since I got rid of most of these shadows last year in my project. So there's that. And as I said, I'm pretty sure last month, my focus for the month was the Citrus Punch palette. So this is what it looks like. This is, I believe, an 18 pan palette. Yes, this is an 18 pan palette, and I actually used every single one of these shades at least once in February. So I No Pan Left Behind this. I opened it up at the beginning of February for my birthday. I've had it since I think August of last year, but I only opened it up in February, and I finally reached for everything once in the month. This was my main focus, and as you saw based on all the things I didn't use, this was my main focus in this project last month. And again, like I said last month, I was talking about how I would need to use 9 shades a month to finish this project. This is an 18 pan palette. This is a 12 pan palette. And these are both rolled out of the projects now. So we are, again, well ahead of schedule. So other than this 18 pan, I used 2 more. So I used 20 shades, new shades this month, which is amazing. It means that in my collection, there are only 6 palettes left to No Pan Left Behind. And then as well as that, let me do some math, and I'll figure out how many shades I have left actually to use. Okay, so I did some math, and I figured out that I have 71 eyeshadows left to go before I finish this project, which now means since I have 10 months left in this project, I technically would only need to use 7 eyeshadows a month to finish this project. A little bit more than that, so a couple months I'd need to use 8 eyeshadows, maybe once or twice throughout the rest of the year. But I'm doing really well on this project. I'm hoping to continue this progress in March and through the rest of the year. And if I do that, I will actually be done this project really early. And I've been thinking about what I'm going to do with this project if I finish it early. And again, like I said last month, it is looking like I'm going to finish this project early. Yeah. So right now, last month I said I have no idea what I'm going to do. Right now I'm considering doing a pan those eyeshadows once I'm done this project, but I'm not sure if I want to do it once this project is finished or once I finish my project 10 uses on at least all of my eyeshadows and wait until then to start a new project. I'm thinking the latter. So I'm gonna do, really the goal is no pan left behind first, and then whatever uses in the eyeshadow palettes I need to reach 10 uses, just focus on that. And I think once I'm done those two goals, at that point is when I'm gonna start doing a pan those eyeshadows. I almost said pan that palette. I'm still focused on the pan that palette. It still lives rent free in my head, okay? Also, if you hear noise, I'm kind of snapping this. It's been an interesting weekend. And then before we go, I wanted to talk about goals for March. So I'm a person who loves doing seasonal makeup. I just love doing my makeup seasonally. And March, for St. Patrick's Day, I love doing greens. I have a green look right now because I'm filming this in March. Again, very behind. So let's talk about my goals. So of my eyeshadow palettes, most of them have greens in there. So I'm thinking these two palettes don't have any greens, so I'm gonna put them away. We're not gonna work on those yet. But the 4 other palettes I have, these 4 palettes do all have greens in them, so I'm thinking I'm gonna focus on green eyeshadow next month. So this one has it has green and a yellow. And since there's only these 2 shades left, I'd like to no pan left behind this since I'm using the green anyway. This palette has 2 greens in it. I've already used Patina in January, but I'd like to use this shade another time to get that, and also use this another time anyway, just because it's green and I want to use greens as much as I can. This shade, the Wishing You by Sephora palette, the Wishing You by Sephora palette has this shimmery green, and this is actually like it kind of looks brown in this lighting, but it's a really dark army kind of green, like an olivey dark green. So I'd like to use those 2 shades, though I am not looking to no pan left behind this. In fact, I'm not really going to try super hard to no pan left behind anything. I just want to use greens. That's the goal for March, is just greens all the way down. And then there's a few greens in this palette. So we have Forest, Bamboo, Key Lime. Vanilla isn't really a green. Ooh, I'm slipping. But it has a bit of a green, like a greeny blue reflect to it, so I'll probably use that as well. Tahini Green and Tropics. I'd like to use all of those shades. I believe a couple of them I have already used this year. Oh, Titan just got off the bed. I will let him out in a second because I'm almost done. I'll let you out in a second, buddy. I'm almost done. He's patiently waiting at the door for me like a sweet little bean. I believe I've used some of these greens. Yeah, I used Bamboo last month, but I'm probably gonna just use it again. Yeah, that's the only green, so I'd like to use all of these greens, and then if I finish that early, I'll get to that when I get to that. Maybe after I use all the greens in my collection, I'll try and hit no pan left behind in a couple of these palettes, but I'm not sure. I'll figure that out when I get there. But yeah, I think that is gonna be my goals for next month. That's how this month went. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, like the video. Subscribe if you want to see this update for next month or any of my other projects. And I will see you guys later. Bye!